So, yesterday, an account called Behind the Thrills was able to find a demolition permit at Universal that covers 4.9 acres of theme park site, including retail, show, attraction buildings, and associated utilities. Basically, something's being destroyed. And we haven't got confirmation of exactly what it is. Like, it could be in Islands, it could be in studios. I don't think it could be in Epic, because I think Epic is another property. But yeah, so it could be in one of those parks, maybe backstage, but based on the description, I doubt it. But based on what we know right now, it seems like this is for Lost Continent. 4.9 acres, that's kind of the key here, because people have gone out and measured different spots that we've kind of suspected to be taken up. Like, I saw someone did Simpsons Land, it didn't quite match up. Marvel Superhero Island, which I doubt is ever going away, but there were slight rumors that it might, and no, it doesn't look like that's it either. But Lost Continent kind of matches up. So it very well may be that Lost Continent is finally going away. And this has just been inevitable, really. I mean, it's been like 2 years, maybe more, maybe less, since Poseidon's Fury was closed. And now Lost Continent has really just become a walkway to Harry Potter. Like, if you're going to Velocicoaster or Hagrid's at early park admission, that's where you're walking. You're not really doing anything in here. There's food in here. There's still some stores that are open in here. But otherwise, yeah, Lost Continent doesn't have anything going on. I mean, there's the Talking Fountain, and the Talking Fountain is awesome. And recently, the former Sinbad show was used as a cool zone, which was a super strange experience. But yeah, this land has just been sitting dormant in this park for years at this point, and it really needs, it needs something new. It's really the only part of this park that feels just strange, just out of place. So yeah, I mean, it's very likely that this is going to get replaced finally, and something else is coming to Islands. And it's weird because the Islands, I do think, is one of the best parks in Orlando. I think it's very close between that and Epic. But yeah, Islands has so many great rides, so many good things in that park. So having an addition to it to make it even better is exciting, but it's also like Universal Studios is the one that needs help. At the same time, Universal Studios doesn't really have a place with a clearly closed attraction that you have to walk through to get to every other attraction. Lost Continent needs to be replaced more than anything at Universal Studios does, as much as I would like to say Supercharge is above that, but it's not. So yeah, I think it makes sense that, take care of Rip Ride Rocket, get the new coaster in, and then work on this new land at Islands of Adventure, and then hopefully focus back on studios, maybe an expansion at Epic, who knows. But yeah, now let's get into kind of the speculation of what could be the replacement here. And I think there's really two things. I mean, there are some other options, but for the most part, I think there are two big major announcements that seem likely that really could be in here. The first and more recent rumor is Wicked, and Wicked was explicitly talked about by Mark Woodbury, I believe, about, becoming a theme park. He said, this seems perfect for a theme park, so it makes sense. Why not just put Wicked here? And it's been a rumor that's been increasing lately because of the speculation that I've said regarding Zelda at Epic Universe. There's been a lot of talk about Zelda potentially coming to Epic Universe because of certain hints within the park and certain even just the empty medallion at the front of the park that seems to suggest that a full-on land would come there. So there has been some talk of that. If you want to hear more details, you can go check out my video detailing the future of Epic Universe. But admittedly, that speculation has fallen off a bit recently, and I've kind of gotten back to thinking what I originally thought, that Zelda is just coming to Lost Continent. I mean, Wicked could happen. I think I could see it. It's a Universal-owned property. It's kind of safe. And I know some people were like, oh, Lost Continent makes sense for Zelda because they could just like quickly retheme it. But I don't even know if that's true, really. Like, I think they would kind of want to do, and especially Nintendo would probably want to do some sort of ground up thing, you know? And not fully ground up. I think Universal would want to keep like the restroom, stuff like that, basic utilities, maybe even the restaurant layouts. But yeah, I don't think this would be as closely related to Lost Continent as some people have suggested. So maybe it makes sense, you know, make it Wicked, make it completely rethemed, keep all the essentials, and it's a Universal-owned property that's incredibly popular, so, you know, easier to put in there than a property owned by someone else. But at the same time, I just think Nintendo, like, I think they know Nintendo is a different level of popularity compared to Wicked. Not that Wicked isn't popular. In fact, maybe Zelda is close to Wicked in terms of popularity. I actually could see that. But even so, I think branching out the Nintendo properties, as I've speculated many times before, you know, Mario at Epic, Zelda at Islands, Pokemon at Studios, it just makes perfect sense. You could maybe even make the power-up bands work between the three. I just think there's so much like merch possibilities, ride possibilities, just money-making possibilities that it makes so much sense to put here. I know it's been kind of dismissed lately with Wicked coming up, and you know, at this point there's more evidence for Wicked than there is for Zelda, but I don't know. I'm just sticking to what I've thought all along, what the rumors have suggested all along, that we're getting Zelda at Islands, Pokemon at Studios, and Luigi's Mansion at Epic. I think that's what it is. I think I've tried to convince myself it's other things, but I don't know. Now, if this expansion does turn out to be Wicked, I think we can start having that conversation again about, is Zelda coming to Epic after all? But the other conversation we could have is Zelda not coming at all, which is also possible. Like, between Mario and Pokemon, Zelda is still popular, but it's not nearly as popular as those. So if they go with Wicked here and they just drop Zelda, I mean, maybe that'll happen. Really, the only two they need is Mario and Pokemon, and I think Studios needs a Nintendo property way more than Islands does. So if Islands gets dropped in terms of Zelda, won't be too big of a bummer. I mean, it would be so cool to see a Zelda land. Like, I'm just imagining it. It's so cool, like a boat ride, whatever sort of ride they would make for it. I'm sure it would be awesome. But yeah, at the same time, I mean, I think Pokemon makes more sense for the next Nintendo expansion. Like, or not even that, it's just Pokemon is more of a priority, I'm sure, for Universal. I'm sure it would make them more money, and Studios needs it more than Islands does. So if Islands gets Wicked, I think that would be fine, even if it proves to not be as popular as some people think it will be, but I think it will be popular still. But yeah, I mean, Islands Adventure does not need another big property. It already has Harry Potter. It already has, like, you know, Jurassic. It already has all these great things. It has Marvel. So yeah, at the end of the day, like, if whatever comes here is like, I don't know, like a really small property, and it's like, oh, you know, or even if it's like a kid's land or something, which I don't think they would do, but even if it is, for that park, you know, sure, why not? Really, the worst case scenario is something that has been rumored, I think recently by RixFlix, that Simpsons is gonna keep staying around, and then, you know, what's going to happen with Pokemon in that case. I think that's the worst case scenario, because Studios needs it way more than Islands does, you know? Studios needs a property that big. So if Simpsons sticks around for another 5 years, like, you know, I'm happy that Islands is getting something. I'm happy that Studios is getting the new coaster, but Studios needs way more love in that regard. So hopefully we start seeing a permit for that as well. Anyway, kind of going on a tangent there, but yeah, let me know what you think of this potential demolition and expansion, and let me know what you think the property's going to be. Be sure to check out this video for more, and subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time with 2 scripted videos, I promise.